No corrosion randomly turns on and off? 1990.
I'm having no luck with that.
What was your day like?
One,
What's that?
the bad CD33 and a bunch of portable.
Fixed?
Yep.
Easier than CD3217.
Can we get them up?
I have to ask. If only someone that worked at Texas Instruments knew what our address was and...
Just sign us up and let us buy it. We don't want it for free. We just want to buy it.
You're not allowed. That's like stealing in 2020.
Buying it from somebody. That's stealing.
Yeah, being willing to pay for the chip and buying it is now probably as wrong as stealing. We don't have cameras set up for all that. Unfortunately, everybody's behind on work and nobody has time. And I am trying to fix as much stuff as I can before there is some sort of mandatory quarantine. I was reading about that. It looks like they're debating keeping people at home. It's funny because in the article it says, yeah, we're not really sure what we're going to do about the people that are forced to stay home and how we're going to compensate that or if we're even going to do it at all. But who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, so I'm here at work trying to get as many things fixed as humanly possible since we are a bit behind. We were already behind because of the move, then a little bit more behind because someone took off to get tested since they weren't feeling well. I don't want you showing up to work if you have coronavirus or don't feel well. And here we have this. New Yorkers should be prepared for a shelter-in-place order, Bill de Blasio says. The best part of this, my favorite part of this entire article, the cost to compensate residents would be immense. We don't have a plan right now because it's never been done before. Oh, you got a plan for the airline. You got a plan for the airline now, don't you, on how to compensate them? Of course you don't have a plan on how to compensate us if you force us to not do business. Of course you don't. Why would you? All right, so let's get started. This is an A1990 machine that does not appear to be turning on. If we take a look at, let's see, what does it say here in our good old ticket notes? My computer was working perfectly 3 days ago. Suddenly, while I was charging my iPhone through the USB port, the Mac turned off. I turned on again and it shut down again, but this time when I tried turning it on, it indicated it was without battery. So I plugged the charger in and it worked perfectly. Then the next day after it ran out of battery, I tried charging and it wouldn't charge. The red battery icon indicated that it was out of battery, but wouldn't charge once I plugged in the charger. I tried every charger and every plug. Conclusion, the problem is with my Mac. I went to Apple and they told me the main board was broken and it would cost $900 to fix it and that would wipe out all my data. That's also weird to me because I bought it 1.5 years ago. For me, the most important thing is to recover what I had inside. The data is more important than the computer itself to me, so if the only way to fix it is by wiping the data, I would prefer to recover the data first from the SSD and then fix it. Ha ha! That's adorable. You think that I can get your data without fixing the computer. This is an Apple computer. I need to make it work in order to get your data. There's none of that shit. Nope. If I can't fix your computer, your data is gone. So let's get started working on this masterpiece of a design. This lovely piece of... Robust. If you want to try the Sony UWP transmitter, you probably just need to be at a 6K8 resistor between tip and ring of the mic jack. I was thinking of trying it, but I'm kind of done spending money at the moment. I don't really have guests on the show very often. It's very rare. So the staticky other wireless mic, it doesn't really make sense for me to, because those things are, like when I bought my Sennheiser setup, I think it was about $500 to get the wireless transmitter and receiver. So I usually do spending in, I do my spending in bulk. How do I put, like, I don't want to say patches. I'm forgetting the word. I spend, and then I notice, holy crap, I spent a bunch of money. Let's stop until we make more money. And then I spend, and then I stop. And at this point, I've spent way too much fucking money. Like, way too much moving on all the... So I'm not even really just moving, but setting up a lot of other elements of the company a little bit more properly so people can work. And now I'm done. I'm done. I'm done for a while. If someone else wants to come on the show, they can use a fucking wired microphone. I have a nice A5400. Also have a Sennheiser E865 wireless. Let them use that. But no more. I'm done. We are gonna see what's wrong with this MacBook. But I'm interested in getting that Sony UWP later on because the Sonys, I'm kind of a Sony fanboy. Their stuff just tends to work, like actually work, not Apple just works. I also like how good their face focus is. The face autofocus. See that? Try that with a Panasonic GH4 or GH5. I forget which one it is, but either way, that camera costs more than mine and it's fucking pathetic. The face focus on a lot of the Panasonic shit just makes me... The face autofocus makes me fucking sick. It's so bad. Look at that. Look at how good that stuff is. Doesn't America have consumer law? We do have consumer laws. I mean, the European ones, when it comes to MacBooks, are pretty useless. So here's one of the things that I bring up a lot that always... a bunch of people are going to shit on me for saying this, but watch. Just watch. So let's say we go to apple.com and we want to buy a MacBook, right? I don't know why the fuck anybody would do this. I think it's ridiculous. But let's say somebody wants to go buy a Mac, right? You want to buy a MacBook. All right, cool. Let's see. MacBook Pro 16-inch, right? So MacBook Pro 16-inch, buy. Now, here's what it costs in America. In America, it's $2,399 for the base model. Now, let's pretend I'm in the UK. All right? We're going to go to the UK, where people pronounce solder with the L and all sorts of other silly shit. All right, ready? We go buy. 16-inch. $2,399. Wow. Okay. 2,399 pounds. All right. Well, same price, right? Okay. So let's do some math here. So 2,399 British pounds to USD. Okay. So 2892.35 minus 2399, because that's what it cost here. 2399, right? So you're paying an additional $493.35 for the same fucking computer. Same specifications. Same shit. Exact same fucking computer. You're paying almost $500 more for the same thing. But you get... you get an extended warranty. No, you didn't. You paid an additional $500 for the same fucking product. Of course you're going to get a slightly better warranty. In America, if you want that warranty, you got to pay an additional $299 for it. Which, again, kind of sucks balls, but still. Here, you're paying for the warranty anyway. You're paying for that and then some. You could literally buy UK prices with sales tax included. Okay, but who cares? People buy shit on the internet anyway. If you buy it online, you don't get taxed. So I'm not even hearing that. Apple stores ain't even open right now. You can't go to them and pay sales tax. Corona. But there's the problem here is that you're paying an additional $400 to $500 for the computer anyway. Like you could literally buy the computer in America and prepay for your board repair with me and still be ahead of buying the computer in the UK. And I'm not hearing the sales tax. I don't care about the sales tax. The sales tax is irrelevant to me because most people now are buying their shit online where they don't have to deal with that in the first place. Look at all you people pretending you just go down to the store to purchase everything. Like, I go to the Lenovo store to buy my ThinkPad. You think I went to Radio Shack to buy this? Like, when I bought my multimeter, I just went down to Radio Shack and bought my multimeter. And I bought my HAKKO from the soldering store down the street, right? In the EU, you can't buy without tax. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, now that's even worse. That's even worse. Oh man, I give it. Makes me sad. Anyway, back to this. So, let's see what's wrong with this. So we're taking 350 milliamps static. Sound familiar? 350 milliamps static. Doxing. Well, there are boots. There we go. All right, so this already turns on. Let's see if it charges the battery. I guess I fixed it by talking about taxation. Look at that. Well, it's already on. All right. You're taking 260 milliamps. That's not charging. 300 milliamps, not charging. 380 milliamps, 400 milliamps. Come on. Charge. Charge, you bastard. Charge. Charge, you bastard. Okay, now we're taking an amp, but still, that's not really battery charging. Okay, now it's taking 3.2 amps. Yeah, that's charging. That's like 60 watts right there. 3.2 amps at around 19 volts. That's about 60 watts. All right, this thing already works. So I guess maybe make the dude a spare backup of his data since he didn't and put this thing on its way. Apple told this customer it was going to be $900. No corrosion. The computer already turns on and works. Happy Tuesday, Jason Barney. And also, my gosh! Hooray, turns on and works. And it also charges, uses 3.2 amps at 20 volts. He put his password on a little piece of paper taped together that ripped the moment I tried to unfold it. If he wants data... Yeah, they are, Xanthem. Backup. That's awesome. You fixed a vacuum cleaner. By the way, do you know that they were, I believe Black & Decker was one of the people lobbying against right to repair in Maryland. Interesting, now it's showing the battery at 1% and it's not taking anything. That's strange. So it was 7% before, and now it says 1% on the battery? And it's not taking a charging amperage. So I'm going to shut down the machine and see what happens. So it's shutting down right now. It's being a Mac and giving me a little spinning pinwheel as it's shutting down because it's Mac. Macs don't tend to do the most sensible of things. Alright, the pinwheel just went away, but the fans are still spinning. And it's taking 1.7 amps. So that is indeed charging. So the machine is not on, the board isn't doing anything, but the battery is drawing 1.8 amps, so that is in the beginning of the charging process. No, Twitchzilla. It would be cool to make that, but who got the time? I want to move it, move it. 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 Sad, says Mariner. Oh my gosh! BRB. Nama nama. Nama nama. My A1990 fixed itself magically. It just started working for no reason. And it boots.
Three of them dead SSDs. No way to fix anything.
In a row?
Shorting the whole machine dead. And you get one that fixes itself.
That one's empty too. I ran out of bullets to shoot Kopaz with the other day.
Where's mine at that? I want to know where the other one is.
That's the only one that I knew. I thought that was yours that was sitting there.
Same.
A kitty cat. Ba-bum, 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 ba-dum. Dun, 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 dun. Me too, Zom. Me too. Mm-hmm. 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 Why would a company get laid off? No fall net in place by government making sure people get paid. That doesn't exist. That's money they print into existence. Or that they take from you in the long term anyway. It's an illusion. Kind of like your warranty that you get charged for up front. Your warranty. Consumer law. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we have an A1707 in front of us that is liquid damage and is not turning on. Let's open this thing up and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it and make it work again. Things are going well, Mr. Mark. A bro. Mm-hmm. 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 Robust conversation. Thor, we had that for a while. Still not completely moved in arch. Got some shelves at the old place that got to get moved over. Okay, so let's take a look at this machine and try and figure out why it is that it's not working. Now, when we take a look at the board, you might notice that my camera is shaking. But besides that, we got a red dot over there. Now, the first thing I'm interested in doing here is trying to see how much power it's taking. What is this computer doing? So we're going to unplug the battery, plug in the charger with a USB-C amp meter attached, and see what it takes. Five volts. $19.5 at 3 amps. This seems to be a recurring theme. This 360 mil. God, customers stop doxing themselves there. Yeah. 360 milliamps, but not doing anything. No image on the screen. And the other thing is when you see 360 milliamps and it's static, that means that there's usually a short circuit somewhere, or that the CPU itself is dead, because you would usually see fluctuations. You know, it's not going to use the exact same amount of power to do these different complex tasks where it's stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting. You have millions of little transistors all firing off at once. They're not going to take a static amount of power. So this is not this is a brain dead machine. So the first thing I'm kind of interested in seeing is if we have a short circuit on the good old fashioned PP bus. The PP bus is 0.5 volts. Now we're going to see if we have a short circuit on the PP bus. The PP bus doesn't have a short. So the PP bus is missing, but there's no short circuit. That's really interesting. That doesn't happen very often on these when it's taking 350 milliamps. So let's get the board out of the casing and see if we can figure out what's wrong with the MacBook. COVID-19. Hey, Chris, I got your press pass. Hey, everybody check this out. I forgot about this, but look at this. Eh? Look, it expires at the same time that right to repair gets passed in Hawaii. Thank you very much. I don't know what this QR code goes to. I gotta get a scanner. So cool. I was thinking of getting a second version of this, but with that, because a lot of people have been saying that it's unconstitutional to request press pass for recording. So I was thinking of having the press pass in and of itself include citations to where in the law it says that it's illegal to request a press pass, or what precedent is it? What cases said that? And to have that on there with little links to it. Looks like Apple stock is at a major drop right now. Yeah, everything's going to be doing that. I'm not doing any of that buy the dip thing. I learned my lesson with crypto crap. The floors are being The QR code links to your site. Awesome. Some annoying media needs to have a suppressed pass because they need to stop. Sonny's here. Sonny, do you think de Blasio's going to shut everybody down? These machines are so annoying. There's so much crap that you have to take apart before you can get to the center of the Tootsie Pop on the A1707. This computer is filled with corona. It's everywhere. My money is on them shutting down the tunnel to Paul's house within 2 weeks. Yeah. Then he's going to have to befang here. Poor fuck. Oh, man. You all excited to see Paul show up here on a befang? Take the George Washington Bridge. Oh, man. Hey, no coughing. Stop that. Stop coughing. Wash your hands, wash your face, wash your pee-pee bus. And don't cough. Ahem. Alright, so when everything's unplugged, do we get any different behavior? This is the board by itself. I see... lame. Oh, wow, now it's not even going to 20... Oh, there we go. Now I get 20 volts. Yeah, so it looks like it's pretty steady there. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Almost there. Why is everybody talking about beer? I don't understand it. Me either. We'll be back to stream in a moment, folks. Now they're talking about sending all Americans 1,000 to help during crisis. Who's they? And provide me with a source. Almost there. Sorry, some minor file management crap. If I don't get it done now, I'll never get done. All right. Sorry about that, folks. So let's get back to this board repair. Sorry, I really do need multiple monitors or something. Who gave you a thumbs down? A sad person. Probably somebody who was tired of watching me sit here and transfer files. And start my FTP server here so I could transfer my stuff home. I actually used to have to ride my bike home with an SSD and transfer files back and forth if I want to edit from home. Now I just turn on the FTP server on my machine and I can just transfer files, and when I'm done, just turn it off. Like, I could just send files to edit from my work home because I actually have enough bandwidth to do that now. But I got to start it a while before. I'm backed up on this. I have like 300 gigabytes of crap to edit, so... I haven't been posting board repair videos as much since nobody watches them. Okay, so the problem here with this board is that we're getting 0.5 volts on PPBush G3 hot. And what's really strange is that there's no short circuit to ground, because usually we have a short circuit to ground that's going to cause it to be pulled down. Even if we didn't have PPBush G3 hot and it was taking, let's say, 20 milliamps, that would make sense to me. What doesn't make sense to me here is that it's taking 350 milliamps and PPBush G3 hot's missing. PPBush G3 hot is the second rail I expect to turn on. The first is going to be PP3V3_G3 hot. That rail turns on the CD3215s, which allow the charger to put out 20 volts instead of 5. So PP3V3_G3 hot is going to power this chip, which is then going to speak to my charger and say, turn me on. After that, PPBush G3 hot comes on. So the lack of PPBush G3 hot, with there being no short circuit to ground, and was also having 350 milliamps of usage, is really confusing. That's a problem that I would not expect to have, and still doesn't make sense to me to the point where I'm actually making this measurement again, because I don't believe it. I still don't believe it. Something is... I still don't believe what it is I'm measuring. This has been a frequent troll, this 340, 350 milliamps, and not doing anything crap. And I just find it hard to believe that this is actually continuously doing this. Like, makes no sense to me. And that is 20 volts coming in. Just going to confirm that. Yep, 20 volts on input. So now we're just going to search around the board and see if we can find anything that looks obviously screwed up and see if we can make this work again. All right? Ready? Microscope camera on. Shaking camera on. So that's the ISL 9239 chip. That's going to create our PPBush G3 hot. We also have some caps next to it that look kind of nasty. And a damaged looking probe point. So let's do some cleaning over here. Now you also have a lot of really nasty probe points over here, and this is also where the Q-tip stuff is starting to stick. So that's how, yeah, this is a sticky area. You can see all these probe points look kind of destroyed. And I'm curious if these are the probe points where something's passing from one side of the board to the other, or are these the probe points for just testing purposes? Because what could be happening here is those are the probe points where stuff is passing from one side of the board to the other side of the board. And if they're nasty or disgusting, that could mean that Maybe we actually do have PPBush G3 hot, but it's only present on one side of our motherboard. So we're just going to try to check out on the schematic and see what these things are. So let's go back over to the schematic in the board view. So what do we have that is all nasty down here? Might as well do some good old-fashioned picture-in-picture. Okay, that's PPV BAT G3 hot connector. So that's going to be where the this is pretty much PPBush G3 hot. So this is the PPBush G3 hot going to the battery, and all of that looks like complete and utter shit. Wonder if that's shorted to ground. Maybe one way to find out, right? Nope, not shorted to ground. 24 million ohms and going up. Okay, next. What is this little thing over here? It looks like shit. What do you do? You're a diode that goes between the two battery data lines. Now that battery data line is going to speak to our ISL 9239, which creates PPBush G3 hot, right? So that chip over here, battery charger, it's actually an ISL 9239. Apple was drunk when they wrote the schematic, so ignore that. But that diode is going to go between these two data lines over here. So if these two data lines are shorted, my question is, does that battery charger still create the PPBush G3 hot? I don't think it would. I think if you short those data lines, it's going to go down. I don't think it's going to go down that much. On older MacBooks, it would only go down by a little bit. You know, you go down by something negligible, like from 12.56 to 12.23. Maybe it goes down more here. So let's see what happens if I just kind of re-hot that area. Because I think what happened is that we got corrosion near the ISL 9239, and as a result of it, the ISL 9239 died, and it's just taking up amperage, but without actually creating anything. So even though the corrosion is not on the ISL 9239, I think that the ISL 9239 may be damaged. It's a very, very, very sissy chip. So let's see what happens. It smells kind of funky. That was our old ISL 9239. Now I'm going to clean the board area and then get a new ISL 9239 from store.rossmanngroup.com and solder that onto the board and see if it then works. Now that pad that went away is a not connected pad, so it doesn't matter. If you take a look on the schematic in the board view, it says unconnected, so that's why that pad goes. You may notice that when you're soldering, sometimes there are pads that go away really, really quickly, and those are often the pads that are not attached to anything. So let me go get myself a chip. We're just going to make a quick trip over to store.rossmanngroup.com, and we'll be right back.
Wait, I'm
Funds.
I'm not gonna buy this for it.
Are you on the company Amazon account with a scooter?
No. This is not.
He's gonna drop kick. He's like, we should get people this year. What?
So go to the store.
I mean, I have a paycheck, boy.
Whenever I'm happy, I just go on a stroll.
We take you to the back.
I just recovered data and I was like, yeah, we.
Do you think Comrade de Blasio will shut down the city tomorrow?
They're saying that they're gonna close the subways on Friday.
I have Bafang.
You have Bafang. I have car.
I'll pick everybody up.
Yeah. Wait a minute, that's brilliant.
No, David rides in the back seat. Anel can ride on the left handlebar. Paul will ride on the right handlebar.
He rides on the underneath.
Be walking around so I can buy it.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Ship it out here.
Yeah.
And with a coupon, you know.
The only note in here is that you looked at it.
Thank you.
There's no way you looked at it because you wouldn't have taken this.
I don't think I would have looked at this.
Look at the battery. Look at above the battery.
What does
Do we
this
have
say?
batteries for this?
No, you don't have audio port. You don't have anything for that.
Yeah, it's gonna need an audio board.
You don't even have a donut.
That cap is, and the one on the other side, those two PP bus caps are what's going to make it dead.
That's what I said. This is going to take off one cap and it's going to turn on.
And I didn't do this. This has been somewhere else.
That's not a big deal. It's like it's a shield.
Yeah, but somebody else has been in here.
Maybe we looked at it one weekend.
Well,
You looked at it. The note says you looked at it.
I mean, I probably did this, like literally.
Scam. It doesn't do that.
This does?
I probably by Lewis looked at it means that like he said, "What should we do for this?" And I did this and said, "At least board repair," and walked away.
That's I'm looking at it.
You want to keep? Oh, look at the battery.
Yes.
Do we
You
have batteries?
wouldn't have
for this?
taken this in if you opened it.
Data?
Data.
Can we blame Shane?
Data?
Let's blame Shane.
Shane?
No, I'm just gonna
It
put
says
this
Shane.
in UC and hope that it works.
It says Shane over there.
It does say Shane.
It's signed Shane, and you're blaming me. Shane. Throw Shane under the bus.
It says you looked at it.
No, say Lewis, take a look.
I would throw Shane under the bus. He's the one who signed the note, and he's also new, so it's...
Oh no, this is the. He said the customer said that you looked at it already. Said Lewis took a look at it already for them.
I probably plugged this in and saw that it was taking 5 volts and said board repair at least 425. So that at least they'd be okay with board repair because that's at the very least what it would need. If I saw that, I probably would have threw up on them and given them Corona.
Wait, do you want anything? No, I'm good. It's fun. It's so smooth, isn't it? I just recovered data.
Transfer to net?
Wheels like this. That's what makes it smooth. The little wheels suck.
There's an Amber Alert. Somebody got a divorce. How often do you get that and it winds up being like child missing and it's wait, no, never mind, divorce dispute. It's sad because I don't even look at them anymore. Every time I get that alert on my phone, it's a divorce dispute.
Yeah. You gotta step farther back or something. Because I tried and like, what the hell? So I put my foot back here and it didn't lock back.
It's good though. It's not for tricks, so that's why
It would be good if it had a lot of them do have one handbrake.
I don't
But
like
that's
it.
always dangerous too because the handbrake is for the front.
Do you think that the sign will break easy right there? Yeah, over here.
So when is the subway shut down?
Because it's not just a thin piece of metal, you have the whole box.
Here at Rossmann Repair, we don't protect the women and children. We shoot the women and children. He's about to shoot me with my own damn assault rifle. What the fuck? Is she crazy? I need a way to control the damn Zoom via remote. This is dry. I gotta get up every time I do this? Jeez. You want your son home, keep him home. I'm sure he's not gonna argue with you. Because I've been reading stuff in the news saying, yeah, they shut the schools down and the kids are so sad. Bullshit! Fake ass news! Fake fucking news. Yeah, that's what kids always used to do when I was a kid. Oh, they shut. No, please don't snow. No, it's snow. No, I can't go to school. I wanted to write the word 200 times a row in the book until I memorized it for 6 hours a day as someone screams at me and tells me I can't go to the bathroom when I have to pee. I'd love to meet you. Nah, if you met me, you'd probably be disappointed. I'm a prick. But thank you very much for the sentiment, Carrie. I appreciate it. Alright, let's solder this chip on the board. So we have an ISL 9239 here. Purchased brand new from store.rossmanngroup.com. It's not getting up to Zoom, it's workout. Well, the gyms are supposed to be closed, so if you consider that a workout, then I'm going to have to close. And oh my god, if I have to close, the customers are going to just cut my balls off and feed them to me. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you very much. But yeah, like I am gonna have they're gonna hand me my balls in a platter. If I'm forced to close the store or people can't come to work, there's gonna be like 500 customers, one starring, screaming. It's gonna be something else. So we gotta wait for that to dry. So while we're waiting for that to dry, the thing is, I'm not really sure what I should do while I'm waiting for that to dry, but I think I have an idea of how I'm gonna spend my time. I have a mild idea of how it is I'm gonna spend. Okay. Now let's see if this thing turns on. Rossmann Group is an essential service. I'm kind of curious, how much can I push that? Like, we do data recovery for the district attorney. Alright, so we've replaced our chip. Still with that 300 milliamp shit. Ooh, 290 milliamps. 1 amp! Bada bing, bada boom, it's turning on! Look at that, folks! Is that not a fixed MacBook or is that not a fixed MacBook? Who you calling non-essential service now? Essential. We took PP-Bus G3 Hot that was 0.5 volts and turned it back into 13 volts. Measure this. Measure this, de Blasio. Is this not an essential fucking service? Look at that. Look at that. PP-Bus G3 Hot, 12.58 volts. Who are you calling non-essential? No, but seriously. So this board had corrosion on several areas that were not the chip that was wrong, bad. The capacitors that actually had liquid on them are fine. whereas the ISL 9239 that was next to it was bad. This is very interesting because we had no short circuit on PP-BUSH G3 hot, but it was still taking 350 milliamps, which is crazy because if it's taking 350 milliamps, that tends to imply a short circuit. And the only lines to that could have been shorted that would have taken that much amperage are the DCN, which it wasn't because it was 20 volts, and PP-BUSH G3 hot, which was 0.6 volts with millions of ohms to ground. So that's really, really strange. But the way that I tried to figure this out was, A, what's wrong? What's wrong is that PP-BUSH G3 hot is missing. And B, what's corroded? What's corroded was not the chip that creates PP-BUSH G3 hot. It was literally what was right next door, which was perfectly fine. The caps that were right next to the chip, if you'll take a look at this, the caps that were right over here had liquid on them, and these were fine. This chip that had no liquid on it was dead. So PP-BUSH G3 hot is missing. I have corrosion here. PP-BUSH G3 hot is created by this. So it's not a large leap to go from here to there. And we replaced that chip, and then it worked again. And one thing to keep in mind is that if you are looking for an ISL 9239 chip and you're not quite sure where to get it, then look no further than store.rossmanngroup.com. Google ISL 9239. And the first result on Google, store.rossmanngroup.com. Still in stock today at our essential store, providing an essential service. Essential. And if you take a look for what shows up for the newer machines, if I had a 2019 MacBook Pro with this exact same problem, the customer would be kind of screwed. Because if you take a look, if you take a look, can't buy it anywhere. Can't buy it. Like literally the only places you can find an ISL 9240 is you could find threads where people are referring to videos I've made saying it's not available. That's me. Like that's it. That's it. You could see someone saying, can you make the ISL 9240 available for purchase? To Renaissance. Haha. Doesn't exist. So what do you do if you have a newer machine and this happens? I'll tell you. I have to buy a $129 battery charging case from Apple. Then I have to take the chip out of it, reball it, and put it here. Then, when that's done, I have a useless battery charging case that was $129. I just want to thank you for the PowerPoint presentation from another video that says start here. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad to see that someone actually read that. It took a lot of time to put together, and I am quite happy to see that it is. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, I would never suggest that what people do to get this ISL 9240 chip, because Apple has made it a point to ensure that it's not available anywhere, I would never suggest that they purchase iPhone XR battery charging cases, remove the chip, and then return it saying it's broken. Because even though that would teach Apple a lesson, that would be immoral, unethical, and wrong. So don't do that, because someone emailed me saying, Lewis, the way that you could probably get around this, and I got this email this morning, was if you buy the iPhone XR charging case, which does have the ISL 9240 in it, you could just buy this case from Apple or Amazon, and then just every time you need one, and then return them saying it doesn't work after you remove the ISL 9240. That's wrong, that's immoral, that's unethical, and I'm not going to do that. Even though that would teach them a lesson if, let's say, tens of thousands of people started doing that. I'm hoping that the lesson can be taught through culture and through legislature. All I want is to be able to buy that chip. Gotta say, I have a lot of these battery cases now. These things are seriously, they're piling up in my office. It's such a fucking waste, too. It really is. It's a serious waste that this thing over here Every time I need to do this repair now, I need to fucking buy a battery charging case that has an ISL 9240 inside of it. Disassemble that thing. Take the ISL 9240 off of the board, reball it, and then put it on here. And then this iPhone XR smart battery case, all the electronics inside of it, the PC board, the battery, all of that crap is just sitting there, going to waste. It's so inefficient. Just allow people to buy the chip. It's no big deal. We just want to be able to charge our laptops again and get their... Is it that... Anyway, that's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I will see you all in another video.